when you open up Power BI, this is what you just see. Power BI without a data set. And you need to get the data for you to actually work and provide an excellent report. So now we're going to get the data, of which we'll go here to this ribbon and find the data we need to find from all of these data sources. We're going to be working with an Excel workbook for this particular report. You can either get it from here or here. So let's click. So this is the data we're going to be working with, the dental clinic activity data. We just open it right now. Okay. So yeah, it's open right now, and we click for it to actually get into the Power BI environment. So the data is in now. Some of us do click load instead of going to transform, but the important thing about transforming data is because we never know how dirty it is outside of this environment. You can always clean your data in SQL environment, Microsoft Excel, but once you open it into Power BI environment, that's a Power Query environment, you get to see things or errors in your data sets that you actually need to pay attention to. So let's just click the transform, and the Power Query editor will just open up. Okay, so this is it. This is a Power Query environment where we do all of the transformation of the data. So for IDs, they're all unique identifiers. They are as we want them to be with the right data type. IDs should always have a text data type, not a number data type, because you don't need to calculate your ID. What I mean by unique identifier is just like your hospital number, the hospital number belongs to you and you alone. You don't share your hospital number with any other person. Your NHS number, your national insurance number, these are all unique identifiers. So, and they should always read as text and not numbers. So we're just looking through the data set. Over here, this is a unique identifier, a gender key which belongs to a particular gender. Each gender for their key, that's what I mean. So we just change it here to text and replace current. So yes, that is it. And we keep going and just scroll through. Over here, we don't like this confusion. We just tell it what exactly it is, and it should be a text since it's an ID. Just keep going. We're happy with the dates. The dates are supposed to display as date and not daytime. That's what I want them to be. But if you want yours to be a date time, you can always make use of this. You click it and it changes. So far, there are so many other things you can do inside this Power Query editor environment. You can come over here and do a whole lot of transformation in your data set. If there are so many other tables here, there's so many other functions you can also include or introduce just to transform your data to exactly what you want it to be or look like. So we're going to go here and click the close and apply. It's apply now. The data is in now, and here we see that the table is being represented over here. This is where you find the tables that you draw into the Power BI environment. This is the report view that we're in at the moment. We have a table view, and in the table view, you can always view all the tables. If there are more than one table in here, you can just view all the tables, create new columns, do all in this environment. And in the model view, you can always view the different tables in this form, or which can create a relationship, of which I've taught in the previous videos. You can always go back to them and rewatch to learn about the relationships. And the next thing we're going to do now is to open up the table view, look through the data, understand everything we need to understand in this particular report or data set, and know how to use them. We have the referral ID, of which in the referral ID we come over here, we see that there are 24 referrals. Over here for the customer ID, we see there are 18. For referral ID to be more than customer ID, it means there are some customers that were referred more than once. So that's what we understand in that area. We can also draw insights from the age range, the gender, the number of males, number of females, and then the age bracket that we have the most coming into the dental clinic. Also the ethnicity, we need to know about them, and the ones who come the most, know exactly how to solve the problem through that aspect. The city of residence, and so many other information in here. Reason for treatment, we can know what particular treatments are being done the most and know if there are more dental technicians or doctors that actually will be required the most. So yes, so these are insights we can actually draw from this. So let's just go ahead and work with the data sets. So now we're in the report view environment, the place of creativity. So we just go ahead right now. So the first thing we're going to do now is to create a date table. A date table is usually very important in a report, especially when you're working with a table that contains a lot of date columns. So we just go ahead now and create a date table. Go to the modeling, the ribbon, and go to new table. It will open up now, and we put our measure, give it date. So I'm going to create a date. You don't put anything in here, so it just automatically draws the beginning and end, everything and accumulation that we need in here. So let's open the date up and see what we have in here. The date now started from 1st of January 2022 up until, let's go down, you see it, or we just make it view in descending form. So up until 31st of December 2023, which is all we need in here. Just clear the sort and go back. First, we're going to create the join between the table date and the dental clinic table. So when you're joining a table, all you do to ensure that everything is working and aligned as it should, just watch as I create. Let's find the first date, appointment date, now we have this in here. We don't want to make it active, and why we don't want to make it active is because we are going to connect other date columns to this particular column date also. So we'll just do this and do the same for other dates. It's still going to connect, but it's not going to use one particular date formula or format to influence other dates in it. So we also connect this. Double click and this, make it not active. We do the same. Now this is discharge date. We need the referral date and treatment date. Okay, so do the same here. Double click and oh no, not there. That's it. And same for treatment date. Double click. and make not active. So just watch, you see how everything works, and it will work accordingly and perfect. When you connect all of this to this particular date, it doesn't connect or move to a hierarchy when you want it to. It's not flexible, I'll just say in conclusion, but I'll just show you how to actually go about solving this particular problem. So let's just go ahead and create different dates that we're going to be working with. So particularly, we'll just create one more referral date that will be very, very flexible enough to actually become a hierarchy later. So we'll call it ref date. That's equal to, we just put this is to be fast enough, referral date. It's going to come out as a test, and then we change it. Okay, this wasn't complete. Okay, so this is it, and then over here is displaying as a test. We don't want that, we want it to be a date, so we change it. I'll show you the difference while we work. So now we're in here. We'll start first of all with the title. To create the title, we use the text box in the insert ribbon. This is a text box. We click it and it pops up. So the title we'll give this will be dental clinic. We just do some editing. The font size 36, make bold, put in the center, and expand this. Okay. So next, we're going to give this report a background, but this is optional. If you want to make it have a background, you can easily just choose any color of your choice. Right now, it's not visible because the transparency is at 100. You can always reduce it to exactly what you want it to be. So now I'll just reduce it to 29. I think I'm like this. So the next thing now will be to create a measure. I love to create a measure table so it's easy for me to access whatever I need to access. Like number of referrals, I just need it to be there and not me going to draw out referral IDs and then try to put them all together and put a count. I just want to create measure to have access to that and so many other measures. So we'll just go to modeling, create a table, new table. You can always click the good sign, this tick sign, instead of clicking out. But I love to click out because it's just easy for me to click out and then it applies. So next, I'd like to now create a measure to count the number of referrals and another to count the number of patients. Referrals. Okay, so that's it, just a normal count of referrals, and close this, click out. I also like to create number of patients. We'll just use the same calculation so it's easier for me. I've copied it with Ctrl+C. So now I'll just paste it and change the wordings. Now this one to patients, and this now to customer ID as the column would have it. Okay, and that's it. So now we're going to proceed with every other thing we need to start with. We're going to start with a line chart because I would like to know the number of referrals we have from time to time. So we'll have to open this now, scroll down, and find the referral date. Now I'll show you the reason why I created another referral date. That's particularly because when you create a join using a particular column, a date column in a table, you create a join to a date table. That particular column is now rigid, is not more flexible. It can change from hierarchy to date and from date to hierarchy, and I will show you just here. Okay, so put the date, and now I want to count number of referrals that goes to this. So you see over here, let me expand. We don't have the advantage to change from hierarchy to date, which is quite a disadvantage. So now we'll use the other referral date I created, which is the ref date. Take this out and put the ref date. Now let's know why this is not okay. This is at the lowest. Let's take it back up. So this is now reading in months. I would like to take off the quarter because I don't need it right now, but if you need it, you can always leave the quarter, so you can always drill through, drill down, drill up, you know, expand to the different hierarchies to actually see more. Usually whenever I'm, you know, building a report for a non-technical personnel, instead of making use of the line chart, I do make use of this star column chart because they have the advantage to see all of the months and actually the numbers. So let me just open up the number so it's easy to understand. So these are all the numbers now. In the month of April 2022, we had just one client that came in, so and so on and so forth. It's very easy to understand everything that is going on in here, but I'll leave it in line chart so we all follow up with the different visuals. So now the line chart is here. I would like to also know the number of people, particularly on ethnicity, and we're going to use the bar chart for this. We just include ethnicity, and I would like to know the number of people, that's particularly the patients. So this is it, number of people coming in from time to time in this ethnic group. Will make this data label visible now, or enable it. So now it's enabled. Now it's enabled. I don't need the value and title in the X axis. I'll just leave this ethnicity, so it's always there to give exactly what title, but usually I take it out because it's already in here, number of patients by ethnicity. So the next thing we're going to do now would be to we'll use the column chart for this, draw out the age band, and we want to know the number of patients by age band. We're using the column chart for this. Enable the data label, and now this is it. We have this one now, and so now so far we know we are able to follow up and gain insights through the age band, through the ethnicity, and how many referrals we have within the years and months. So now I've enabled the data label. Would like to also take the value in the x-axis, the y-axis, sorry. I'd like to take the value out, and also the title, because title up here is already giving the whole description of this particular visual. So next, would like to use the pie chart also. The pie chart now, I'd like to particularly make use of the gender, either the gender or the subscribe. A subscribe can actually work here too. I would like to know number of people that have actually subscribed. So this is it, number of people that have actually subscribed. We have it in here now. And that is it. I can always change it from the pie chart to this bar chart, stacked bar chart, or the stacked column chart. So it's usually very flexible to change from one of these to the other, or the donut chart. So we'll just leave it here now for this. It's already displaying the legends, the values, everything it needs to actually display. For the title, we'll leave this title for the middle and not sides. You can always do that. There are so many other functions in here, particularly the properties, particularly on the spacing and how exactly you want it. You can always use here this particular area to be flexible on the size and the position of the visual. So, and lastly, would like to use, well, not lastly, but would like to use the map on the city of residence and the number of people. We'll just draw it out. This is a country, Nigeria, and different states, different cities in Nigeria. So we're able to follow up on the people. Now you already have the two tips. That's where we have the number of patients and the location. So over here we have it. We're able to follow up on all the things we need to follow up. They're already being highlighted in here as blue. You can always click and then it filters. You get able to gain insights on in other areas once you make a click. Make a click, you see the difference. You make a click, you see the difference. So it's usually very flexible. You can always gain insight in everything you need to gain insights on with just a click. So now we're going to add a slicer. This slicer will be this particular visual, the slicer visual. Okay, that's cancelled. So the slicer visual, this, and particularly would now make use of the date for this. The date in here, you can either make use of this type, which is the between. You can always find a particular this between whenever it comes to date being used in the slicer. You can either use that or you can use the tiles, or you can use any of this. Actually, I usually love to use the drop down, but first of all, it's displaying as normal date. We don't want that. We want more of hierarchy when it comes to the drop downs or the slicer or filter, so it's easy for you to actually navigate from one place to the other. I don't want to follow up with the quarter, so I'll just take the quarter out and I will take the days out. Just want to gain insights on the year and months. So you can also click through the months, know exactly where certain things happened, gain insight in these different areas. Some of them are blank because nothing really happened in those months. So that's how you follow up with the slices, and that's particularly how to use the date slicer. And just use the function here to position the vertical area, so in the middle. So that's we have it. Create another slicer, and the slicer I want to create right now will be particularly the slicer will be on, would like to follow up on the reason for treatment and the appointment type. So we just use this, take this back, use it using for treatment, close this, and also introduce another one that's particularly on appointment type. Appointment type now, to introduce it, take this off. So there we have it. Appointment type now introduced in here. You can always use them just as we also practice with the date. Make clicks and you're able to see a lot through them. So that particular thing I mentioned at the beginning, I'm going to actually include. That's the function. Let's welcome ourselves now. We're going to be learning now on the text filter. This text filter is a very interesting one. It's just like this filters and function we see on Facebook, Instagram. You're able to search for friends that you've not seen for a long time, you just thought about, or search for a trend. That is the search function. And the thing about this search function is most times you just put it in and you want to search for also so many other things. When you put this, it changes. So literally we noticed here now that it actually works for only one visual at a time. So, and how to make this text visual to work for not just one column at a time or one information at a time, how to make it very flexible enough to search for so many or different things you want them to search for, is through this. We're going to get to it right now. Okay, now how to go about it, particularly on this, will be to create a column. We create a column now, new column. Now we want to bring different columns together so we're able to use all of them as we wished. We just call it a search box, and then appointment type, appointment types. Okay, we have it. Now to include all this, all we have to do is make use of this space is, and there we have it. We are able to add every other thing. Ethnicity, we've now this is included. That's it. We just put some other things now. We just particularly city of residence. These three will be okay to do for now. For now, that is it. So now let's test it. For the text, the search box in here. Now let's try it now. For appointment type, we have consultation, and let's search, and that's it. There's nothing much on consultation, so we'll try ethnicity, black, and search. There we have it. We have a lot of this in this group. You can always clean to go back to what it was before. We can choose something else like another type, follow up. You can just put, as far as this is the only thing, and with such information, follow, you can easily search on it and it will still draw it out. So this is what a search box looks like. Very interesting function in Power BI you can always make use of. And how to get it is particularly to go through this, import visual, get more visual. You click it opens here. You can always start by typing in from this area where you just type in the text filter, and that's in here. You click it, and add or download sample. So that's how to just get it. I've already downloaded it, so there's no need for me to actually download again. So that is it for it. And then this function for cards, we just have to draw in one more thing. That's particularly a card, number of referrals. We see number of referrals here. So we'd also like to put in also number of people. Card can also receive one at a time. So there we have it. There we have it. You have successfully created a report. Congratulations to everyone. Just, if you like this video, subscribe, like, comment, always drop your feedback, and you can also drop as much as telling me what you would like to learn, and I'll always come back to it and ensure I provide the best value. Catch you in the next class. Thank you. Cheers.